We're Sid and Macky. For the past 6 years, we've been racing mountain bikes professionally and living out of our van. But in 2020, we had to pause both racing and van life because of the pandemic, and so Sid could recover from a nerve injury. But now things are finally getting back to normal. Sid's been able to get back outside on the e-bike, and racing is picking back up all over the country. Today we're heading to Durango so I can race for the first time in over a year and see if my training is actually paying off.
Back in the van.
Yeah, we're back in the van. Back to our old bullshit, which is to say it is 8:15 the night before Macky is doing a race. We're driving up some bumpy road in the middle of nowhere, trying to find our friends, and I think we found them.
Yay.
So all is well. We were just getting concerned, but we were like, they haven't called us, so clearly this goes to a place that a person can camp. And there's not even that many people here.
Right, excellent.
Yes. Right, it's fine.
Yeah,
this
looks
is totally
good, guys.
normal.
Totally normal.
I am so hungry. We've learned nothing during van life. It's that you can't crack an egg. Oh, you can. You just have to try really hard to crack an egg on the dashboard.
Apparently they make dashboards non-cracking.
Well,
As
I
much
did
as
crack
possible.
it. The
Well, but
moral of
there's
the story is if you're gonna hit your head on it, don't do it hard.
Don't do it hard. Lightly tap your head on the dashboard.
This feels like something that would be in like a DARE class in high school, where they're like, this is your head. This is your head on drugs. In a car accident. Driving drunk.
It is the morning of my first race. My first mass start race in a year and 3 months. And judging by how poorly I slept last night, I'm quite nervous. I found that for me, that's usually a pretty good sign. Like if I'm not sleeping well, that means that I'm nervous about the race. So I'm nervous about the race. Today is the Durango Iron Horse Road Race. It's a like 47 mile, 5,000 or 6,000 feet of climbing from Durango into Silverton. And then tomorrow I race the mountain bike race, Durango Iron Horse, and they somehow combine your results from the two and give you like a overall for the two races. And I'm pretty excited, but apparently also nervous. So I got a email from Mike with like race strategy for the weekend. And he talks about nutrition, which it's going to be hard to eat as many calories. He wants me to eat between 650 and 850 calories during today's race. So it's 150 calories every 30 minutes. I'm going to try, but I'm not sure that will be possible. But I'm going to carry like 2 packs of chews, 2 bars, 2 Rice Krispie, Scratch Rice Krispie bars. So I think that'll be pretty good. Talks about hydration. Yesterday I was drinking a ton, alternating water and electrolyte drink. But then it's the race plan that I really like. So for the road race, look for some wheels you know at the start, but don't bury yourself. Treat this like a multi-day enduro and focus on being consistent. On the first climb, try to keep things under 295 watts unless absolutely necessary. Rail the descents. If you're with a group, stay there. The group will move faster on the big wide road than a solo rider. On the second big climb, a controlled version of all in. And then my favorite point, number 5. If you see super skinny roadie types, do not try to go with them. I think Mike has a pretty realistic idea of the fact that I'm probably not going to keep up with super skinny roadie types.
On your mark. Get set, go. There goes your man. First story balls in the mix.
So there's the finish line down there. That was an absolutely awesome race. I had so much fun. I haven't done a road race in a long time, and that was awesome. It was really, really hard. I definitely did not follow Mike's race plan of stay below 295 for the first climb. That did not happen, definitely not. But I sort of feel like after things exploded and blew apart, and then like I kind of found a group to ride with, once I found that group, then I was able to keep it pretty consistently about 300, a little below for the rest of the ride. I was able to sprint at the end, so I had a little bit of energy left, which was great. Overall, it was just a really, really fun race. Now I'm gonna go spin for about 20 minutes just to flush the legs out a little bit, and then try to find a ride back to Durango, because the way this race works is you go from Durango into Silverton, and then you have to find a ride back. Now that I've had time to recover a little bit, drink a recovery drink, and process a little bit, I continue to be extremely stoked. It was just so much fun. Basically, at the beginning, we were all a big group. I sort of stuck with the main group there. There was a lot of rubber banding where like the front guys will accelerate, and then the guys toward the back of the pack, like, I have to accelerate harder to catch up, and then the front guys slow down. And like, I'd forgotten that road races do that, where like, there's these weird surges, and you know, it's called rubber banding because it's sort of like rubber band. It like stretches out and then blings back together. But it's hard because it's hard to keep a consistent pace when it's rubber banding. You're like, oh, sprint hard, and then, oh, I gotta use my brakes to slow down. And like, if you could time it just right, you could just go consistently the whole time, but it never seems to happen that way. And then it started kicking up, and the front group kind of went, and I kind of tried to stay with them. I had timed it poorly so that I was at the back, and so like, people started accelerating, and all of a sudden I was like, oh, I'm by myself. That's not good. So I worked pretty hard, tried to catch back up, caught back up essentially, but then was like, ooh, if I hold this pace, I'm gonna crack. I don't wanna crack. So I backed it off a little bit. There was sort of a group of 4 of us, I think, initially, that we were all riding together, and then people kept getting spit out of the main pack, and we'd pick them up and they'd join. And so at one point, I think we had like 10 or maybe 12 people in our group all sort of working together. But then we started dropping those people also. And so at the top of the first pass, there were 4 of us. And then we like descended down the backside and then started climbing the second one. And at the top of the second pass, we had dropped 1 guy, so there are 3 of us together. And so I basically just tucked and had a great time. That descent was so much fun. There's like these 20 recommended like 20 or 25 mile per hour turns that you could do way faster than that because you can lean the bike, and yeah. So we're like ripping down. The road was totally closed, but they still had the yellow line rule in effect, so you had to stay on the right side of the road. So just ripping down that descent, dropped the guys behind me a little bit, but not enough that they didn't catch back up when we hit Silverton. So then the thing that fortunately a friend of mine had mentioned to me this morning is that you're not done when you hit Silverton. You have to go all the way through Silverton. So it's like a mile, just straight, false flat. So it's slightly uphill. And I was like, great, I'm in front now. They're all gonna be drafting me. They're gonna attack right at the end. So I just basically like backed it down. I was like, whatever, if they wanna go faster, they can go around me, they can do the work. None of them did until like 0.2 mile from the end, at which point everybody started sprinting. I was able to outsprint the next 2 guys. So I was the front of our group, which was fun, but obviously we gotten spit off the main group. So I haven't actually looked at results. Let's take a look-see here. I didn't really have any expectations for this race. I just wanted to finish, and I wanted to have fun, and I was very successful in both of those. But I'd sort of hoped for like 2.5 or a little bit more time-wise. Wow, there were a lot of people in this race. Still scrolling. All right, I was 47th with a 2:35.36. The other guys in my group were, looks like 3 seconds back and 6 seconds back. The next guy ahead of me was like 38 seconds ahead, so that would have been hard to catch up to. And that's of, looks like 72 finishers. A little behind mid-pack, but like I said, I had a great time. I felt good. I had a good race. I'm really stoked. I spent the rest of the day recovering, hanging out with our friends Sean, Susie, and Cole, and playing Cole's favorite game of all time, Throw Throw Burrito.
Burrito war!
I caught it! Oh, he caught it!
Catch the one I threw. Oh, burrito bro!
Oh, I don't know.
I think I got it first.
No, that was a tie.
That was a tie. Okay, we'll duel it out.
Duel it out.
Here it goes.
Never try to defeat me, Cole! Warming up for cross country on Sunday, and I'm pretty excited. I don't feel too tired or sore from yesterday, although let's say the undercarriage is feeling a little sore just from being seated on a road saddle for so long. Haven't seen the course yet, but it's 3 laps, so planning to just use the first lap as a pre-ride, try to stay with the group as much as possible, and then you know, see what I can do on laps 2 and 3. So overall, I'm really excited. I think it's gonna be fun. Realize I probably need to go a little bit easier because my warm-up is not supposed to be a lot of effort. Just 20 minutes of spinning with 2 30-second, somewhat harder efforts, just to kind of wake the legs up and remind them that racing is a thing. So you hear that, legs? Racing is a thing. That's what we are doing today. We do the racing thing.
I'm about to watch Macky start. He got a terrible start position, so that happened. But hopefully he will get some hole shots on the way out. It won't be last off the line. Find out.
3, 2, 1, we are off and racing. Go get him, boys! 21, Iron Horse Bicycle Classic.
Come on, Macky! Come on! Work your way up! Come on, babe!
On your left. Yeah, when we see a good spot, I'll take that one. Thank you. Got it.
So despite the almost last start position, Macky did seem to work his way up to about mid-pack-ish right out of the gate. So he obviously put on the turbocharge for the start, which hopefully won't come back to bite him. We were talking a little bit about strategy. He doesn't have the XC fitness that he used to, and so he doesn't get the start positions that he used to, and he doesn't really know how his body will respond to this effort, but it is really just a training exercise and an opportunity to see where he's at against what is essentially a world-class field. We've got national champions, former national champions, one kid who was second in a U23 World Cup like 2 weeks ago. So it's a pretty pointy field. I'm just hoping that he has fun out there and doesn't take it too seriously, because like whatever he ends up in this race is definitely like a starting point, I feel, for like what he is capable of. I am gonna mix up his bottles and get ready to go to the feed zone. think the absolute fastest that Macky would come through this is on like 45 minutes. 45 minutes a lap. However, he's never ridden the course. This isn't the course that the amateurs, sorry about the rustling, that the amateurs were racing, so we really have nothing to base that off of. So I'm gonna be early.
One lap. These guys are burying themselves right now. Here's Macky Franklin and Coben Quigley. Hard race for sure.
Yeah, please. Thank you. Thank you.
With 1 lap down, 2 to go. There are 9-mile laps. His first lap was like 46 minutes and it was top 20. So I'm super stoked for him on that. I'm hoping he'll be happy with that. Hoping he can keep it up and not explode. So fingers crossed.
Thanks, buddy. Thank you.
Boys. Come on. Macky Franklin. Macky rode yesterday. Champion of Prado, New Mexico.
Hey, there you go, there you go. There you go, there you go.
Come on, Macky. Yeah, Macky.
Bye now, I win.
Yeah, Macky.
Looking good, looking good.
Filming you, Charlie. Yeah. Still filming me. It is still filming me.
Come on, Macky! We have a telepathic connection. He can hear me. I don't think he's gonna catch this person, but I've also seen, that was a nice corner. Come on, Macky!
Yeah, Macky.
Yeah, Macky! Yeah, woo!
Yeah, Macky, go, go, go.
Come on, come on, come on!
Go, Macky, go, Macky, go, Macky.
17.
Nice job, dude. Dude, you still got it.
Mentally, I was there. Physically, the fitness is not there yet.
That's the easy part.
I think the best way to summarize is I felt good. Mentally, I was there. I rode well. I just don't have the fitness that I want yet. And frankly, that's not surprising. I'm pretty happy with that. Like, I know that there's more fitness work I need to do. It was really fun to race a mountain bike race again. Really fun, especially a cross-country race. Big group race, mass start. Hadn't done that in a while, especially on the mountain bike side, and it was really fun. My main takeaway, cross-country descents are very manageable. So I was, despite not getting to pre-ride this course, I was able to ride the descents pretty hard. And then on the second and third laps, once I'd seen them once, I was able to go fast on the descents without feeling like I was pushing it or like I was sketchy or like I was risking crashing, and catch a lot of people. Like on my second lap, I got to the top of Telegraph, which is this heinous climb, and dropped into Anasazi, which is the first descent, and it's pretty technical at the beginning. And I very quickly caught up to 4 people who I had not seen at all on the Telegraph climb. So that's sort of what I was expecting and what I was hoping for, is that like the skills work that I've done, the descending work that I've done is paying off. And so now I really need to focus on my fitness so that I can climb a lot faster, basically, because I feel like I'm descending well and I'm happy with that. I just need to get to the top of the hills with those front guys, and then, you know, then who knows what would happen. So that would be fun. Also, do you guys would like my really impressive dirt marks? I've got a dirt stash. I've got the dirt under the eyes. And then I've got my dirt helmet marks. Oh, and my unibrow. So yeah, it was a little dusty out there. We will see you guys next Friday. And in the meantime, don't forget
To be more awesome.